Today we will be looking at the investigation and release of the probable cause affidavit regarding Brian Kohberger. Before we start, let me introduce myself. I'm a retired law enforcement officer with 20 years of service. During my career, I had extensive training across many disciplines, from SWAT to becoming a state-certified crime scene tech. As an investigator, I've investigated everything from thefts to homicide. Now back to the case. On the morning of November the 13th, 2022, law enforcement responded to a call at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho. Upon entry into the residence, the homicide of 4 students who attended the University of Idaho were discovered. The extensive investigation into the homicides led to the arrest of Brian Kohberger at his home in Pennsylvania. After his extradition back to Idaho, the probable cause affidavit has been unsealed. The probable cause affidavit is extensive, and I have taken key data and created this visual aid to assist in highlighting some key points. As you can see on the visual aid, you have 4 key areas addressed in the probable cause affidavit leading to the arrest of Brian Kohberger: DNA, cameras, phone, and vehicle. Let's look at the DNA first. A knife sheath was found next to the body of one of the victims. Processing the sheath led to the discovery of DNA later identified as belonging to Brian Kohberger. The identity of the DNA profile came after investigators in Pennsylvania were able to obtain trash from Kohberger's family residence. The processing of this evidence identified a DNA profile as the biological father of the suspect's profile. Moving on to the camera section, we find law enforcement conducted a video canvass of the area, obtaining camera data in the region. Multiple cameras were found to contain vital information from audio to visual confirmation of the suspect's vehicle seen in the area. Law enforcement was able to track and identify a suspect's vehicle, which eventually was identified as belonging to Brian Kohberger. Additional footage was recovered from law enforcement of a vehicle stop of Kohberger in an unrelated traffic stop prior to the homicides. The phone section identifies Kohberger's cellular footprint, pre-crime and post-crime. His movements were mapped before and after, with a timeline showing Kohberger's phone was deactivated and untrackable at the time of the homicides. As we look at the vehicle, we find law enforcement was able to identify a suspicious vehicle belonging to an unknown suspect. A BOLO was shared with other agencies on November 25th, 2022. This BOLO led to a vehicle being located on November 29th, 2022, belonging to Kohberger. The affidavit confirms the Elantra was located at his residence by officers after the crime. As you can see, when you combine this data, why probable cause exists for the arrest of Brian Kohberger and the charges he faces. If you have any information regarding the homicides of Madison, Kaylee, Ethan, or Zana, please contact and provide that information to law enforcement. If you like this video, subscribe, share, or like. Thank you for your time.